HSN, and I'm Suzanne Runyon. Well, I said this a bit ago, and I said grab that holiday gift-giving list, and we're going to check it all off tonight, and I certainly hope we've been able to help you out. But the next item is really for that person, whether you're an absolute novice in the kitchen or a true chef foodie, you're going to love this. Now imagine, you've got the kid on one hip, and you're talking on the cell phone, and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to stir that soup that's sitting on the stove top? Well, Anthony Sullivan, we know him from Pitchman, has the answer, and it's another one of his great inventions that he discovered, and it's really cool. This is called the RoboStir. Hi, Anthony. Welcome back.
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, isn't it true? I'm a busy mom. I got this. I'm on the phone, and I'm watching the soup just burning on the stovetop because it's not being stirred.
Yeah, a lot of the times the reason things burn is just because you don't have time to sit there stirring with the good old wooden spoon.
Right.
And as much as I love the wooden spoon, because I got beaten with it when I was a kid, you know, it hasn't changed in years. And, you know, you're never going to get rid of your wooden spoon, but let me tell you, the RoboStir, make it an asset to your kitchen collection. It's a lot of fun. It's a great item. And especially in today's world where you're texting and the kids are screaming and someone's ringing you on the phone and someone's knocking on the door and you're trying to stir and chop and cook. This stirs, I'm going to say it, so you don't have to. That's how good it is. I've got about 6 things going on down here. And let me just show you basically...
Yeah, show them how it is.
I'll show you the long and short of it.
Cool.
This is the unit itself right here. It has 3 little legs on it. It looks a little bit like a satellite. You've got silicone feet here that will withstand heat of about 572 degrees. You plop it in any pot, pretty much. If it doesn't fit in the pot, it's not going to fit, but it's designed to fit in pretty much every single pot.
Right.
One speed turns it on, push it again, okay, AA batteries, and push it again, and it just sits there and stirs. And just to give you some idea of what's happening here, I'll throw these peas in. It's specially designed, these little feet, just to keep everything stirring. Now think about Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Gravy.
Right.
Just want you to think about your gravy.
You can get the turkey right. You can get the stuffing right. If you mess up the gravy, it is all over.
You're so
all right?
right.
You've gotten there is no forgiveness for messing up the gravy. Even if you buy this today and you only use it for gravy.
For gravy, yeah.
It's worth it.
It's paid for itself. Because how many times do you have a recipe that requires something to continually be stirred? And you're like, I just can't, I don't have the time to stand over there, and so we don't make it. Well, guess what? Let this third hand do the job for you. And the funny thing is, at first glance, you go, that is such a silly thing because it kind of moves around and it jiggles. But it really, honest to goodness, works. It keeps on stirring, so you don't have to do it. Now, I do need to mention something.
Sure.
I have right now 1,400 left.
They're gone.
That's it for the rest of the year. Because I asked Anthony earlier, I said, oh, is this coming back? He said, nope. He said, once these are gone, and it's probably going to happen in this airing, this is it for the entire rest of the holiday season. I'm telling you, think of that person who's really hard to buy for. Even if they're a beginner in cooking or they're a real foodie and super chef, they're going to go crazy over this as a great gift idea. You don't have to spend a fortune, but it's a real time saver because you can do more with less work when you have this at home.
Absolutely, and I've got a marinara. Well, think about what I've got going here. And I can cook to a degree, but I'm by no means. You can be your own personal Todd English, your own personal Emerald. I've got a marinara sauce going right here.
Right here.
I've got an Alfredo sauce going.
Which you don't want to let that go and stir.
I've got a cheese sauce, and a lot of the times, if you've got a sauce, it looks like it's not burned, but you dig below the surface, you smell the burn. That is ruined. Show the camera
right there.
You can see. I'll just hold it right there. So it sticks to the bottom of the pan. Those little silicone feet, they leave nothing unstirred. And one of the sauces I'm doing right here, this is a peppercorn sauce that I love. I personally do, and it says, stir the shallots until they're clear. It takes about 20 minutes, all right? And I don't have 20 minutes, because in the meantime, then I have my peppercorns here, and then I take a little red wine. And speaking of red wine, you want to know the best thing about the RoboStir? You drink the wine in one hand and it stirs with the other. You hold the bottle if you want. Okay, I didn't say that. But look at what I got going here. I've got a piece of paper going for no particular reason. Well, just to show you the power of the RoboStir. It just looks cool. It makes a great centerpiece on your table. I've got the peas going right here. We've got the Alfredo, the marinara. I'm bringing down my smell of peppercorns.
Wait, I gotta tell you, but right here, here it is, the Thanksgiving gravy, okay? That's awesome, but right here is the one that makes us crazy, right? It's lumpy, it's gross, it's cold on one spot, hot on the other. Now, because this is gonna do the stirring for you, you can get that perfect gravy every time. How many of you love to do holiday chocolates? That's one of the toughest things to get right, is melting chocolates on the stove, and you've got the whole double thing going, the broiler thing, and you're like, how does it work? This is going to allow that chocolate to keep stirring. How many of you do really sensitive, beautiful hollandaise sauce? You know how difficult it is to do a real hollandaise sauce?
Yeah, I mean, here's one of the... Yeah, if you're a real cooking fanatic and you love to make 4 or 5 sauces, which some people do, my dad is one of those people. He's got everything going. You know, he never actually gets to eat it because he's so busy making it. This is great. And if you just cook a little bit, if you're intimidated by just the fact that you have to stir this and chop this, because some recipes, it is in the preparation.
Right.
It's not really, it's just like, how do you prepare all this stuff? You've got to stir this. This sauce is stirring away here while I could be over here.
And it's actually reducing itself.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stand here and keep...
No. And I'll just come back and check it. And I'm not saying walk away from your food and go outside and go take a nap or something. But you can turn your back on your food and you can have something going over here. It's called the RoboStir. It's dishwasher safe. It was invented, believe it or not, in England. 1810 stainless steel, food-grade silicone. This is one of those little gadgets that you say to yourself, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, it really is a smart idea. How many of you just want to make the most perfect homemade hot chocolate? So you've got the milk. Milk, to me, is the bane of existence when it comes to trying to make a perfect hot chocolate, right? So you've got the milk on the stove, but you don't want to burn the milk because you know what happens?
Right.
It's going to curdle if you leave it on too long or if it's not being stirred. Or you're like, how come I can't get it to blend well? Well, you put the milk in here, get it to the right temperature, put the chocolate in here, put it together, and then you serve that creamy, wonderful hot chocolate, and it's actually homemade. Now, over 1,000 have been ordered.
Look at
okay,
this.
gang, just so you'll know, this looks like this is the final and last airing for the rest of the entire year. This is huge. If you wait, you're not going to be able to get this. And I know you've got someone on your list. It's my husband. The first time Anthony and I did this, he goes, do you cook? I go, no, I don't. He's like, look, I'm going to tell you the honest to goodness truth. And I said, but my husband, he loves to cook. My husband is passionate about cooking. Great gift for that hard-to-buy-for guy who's the griller, who loves to cook and make all the sauces. And he's always making all these crazy sauces for the meats that he grills. How many of you have that person who's maybe new to the kitchen? And a lot of times, I think, Anthony, we avoid a lot of recipes because they're too time-consuming. I can't stand there for hours stirring something to get it to be perfect. Let the little RoboStir do it for you. And while at first it's like kind of a chuckle because it looks like something very funny and it just kind of bounces.
It will get a laugh. It gets a laugh.
But then you go, oh, the darn thing really works. That's what I think makes it really surprising.
People will come into your house and just stare. Like you could be the kitchen person that has everything.
Right.
You could have everything that Mark has right now because this is actually the hour for people who really don't like to cook. All right, okay? If you just want to sit in with one glass of wine and talk on the phone while you got everything going on, this really, you know, it is a fun item. You get a lot of looks, but on a serious note, my steak peppercorn sauce, I'm sitting there, I'm chopping, I'm dicing, I'm slicing, I'm chipping, and this is doing the stirring, and I always say kind of the low-hanging fruit line. It does the work so you don't have to. This is one of those things. Don't be in the kitchen without it.
And you know, it's like having a third hand. That's what I love about it.
It's a revolution in your pan.
All right, stay on the line right now with everybody there. I have about 200 left. We will keep you updated.
Right.
Please remember, when this sells out, that's it for the rest of the year. This is your last chance to reserve yours because it will not be back until next year. It is gone after this airing.
Thank you, guys.
Now, we're doing Banoodle next. And this is